All right. Morning, everyone. Today we're gonna be doing a little bit of Beetlejuice drawing, specifically the Beetlejuice from the animated series. Um, I did pull a couple of just random Beetlejuice things that I kind of had in my collection. This is a Kinder toy that had come out when the movie had been released. It's supposed to have like a little cap head on it, and the head's supposed to spin here. I pulled this out of maybe it was a yard sale. I'm not entirely sure, but it's where he came from. And then we got the old Beetlejuice here. But yeah, figured I would just pull these and just kind of show them off. Just random things that I just kind of had here. All right. So we're going to start off by, I'm kind of going to walk through on exactly what we're going to be doing. I'm going to show off different tools that we're going to be using. So that way you kind of get an idea of what we're going to be doing today. So the first thing that you're probably going to need, obviously, is going to be your pencil. We're going to be using just various markers, brushes, things like that. We're going to need. We're going to be doing some stripes, some big bold stripes. So we're going to need some brush markers. You're going to need some white gel pen just to do some highlighting and things like that. And then as well, we're going to be hitting it with the Tombow hard brush pen. Right away, we have our a ruler here. We're going to be using this to measure out some stripes. You're probably asking yourself why I have pennies put onto the bottom of my ruler. So when you are putting lines down on paper with ink, especially, and then your ruler or your measuring tool, straight edge, whatever you want to call it, isn't elevated, your ink is going to run underneath your ruler. And when you pick your ruler up, it's not going to be a straight edge. And then more often than not, when you do move your ruler, it kind of drags across the paper, and you're just going to cause the actual ink itself to get dragged down. So you want to avoid that. So how you do avoid that is you can buy rulers that have like cork on the bottom of it, but this is kind of a cheat. You can grab pennies, dimes is what I recommend to use. Quarters and things like that are a little too thick, but you need 2 or 3 of them, and then you just tape them onto the actual piece, onto the ruler itself, and that way it creates a gap onto the paper into the ruler, and it stops it from your ink from bleeding underneath the ruler itself. Just a cool little trick for you guys. So the first thing that we're going to be doing then right away is we got to get down some stripes, because we're going to be putting stripes onto the paper. Is what we're going to be doing essentially is Beetlejuice has his tux that everybody knows about, the black and white tuxedo. So we're going to be doing that pattern in the background, and then we're going to be doing a big fat bold Beetlejuice face, like right in the center of that design. So the first thing that we need to do is do our stripes. So we got our measuring tool here and our pencil, and this sheet of paper here specifically, it's 9 inches, so we're going to be able to get exactly that amount of stripes on here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then that'll be our 9th one. And then we got to do it down here at the bottom as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then that's our 9th one off to the side. And then now we just got to draw our actual stripes on here and finish it out. Going to be doing some light ones, light lines, because we're going to go over top of it with ink and whatnot, of course. Blacken all this stuff out, so. This is just more or less of a guide for us. Because we are going to lay down like a portrait circle. Think of like your Looney Tunes ending to an episode like a Porky the Pig kind of coming through like that circle. I really don't know what that is exactly, but that look where he's just kind of popping through and he's like, that's all, folks. That's kind of the look that we're going to be going for here, is kind of Beetlejuice kind of popping through the paper and like a circle kind of like that. It's kind of the inspiration behind it was the like the end credits, like a Looney Tunes cartoon is what we're looking for here. It's got one more to go. Get that on there. All right, cool. So one of the tricks that I can tell you guys is that if you do not have a like circle big enough to actually draw it, like circle guides and whatnot, they're going to be too big. Yeah, Gustavo, nobody really cares, brother. So if you don't have a guide big enough to draw circles, is what a cheat sheet that you can do is just grab a bowl, grab a mug, grab a cup, anything like that to draw a bigger circle. So what we're going to do is exactly that. We got ourselves a bowl here. We're just kind of line it up through the center, and then we're just going to trace around that. And then I have another bowl to do the inside. But yeah, this is just a good little cheat sheet that you can use, or hack, I should say, if you don't have a big enough guide. Okay. Just go ahead and trace around this quick. Oh. Awesome. And then we got to grab a smaller one to do the inside circle. And again, we're just kind of eyeballing it here. Pretty good, I think. So that was a trick that I actually I had to learn from Jim Rugg. He had mentioned at one point in time that whenever he does run into that issue when he doesn't have a circle guide big enough, hey, just go grab a bowl, grab a cup, whatever you need, and that'll do the trick for you. So let's just go ahead and erase these lines. And we could probably start laying down some actual black so you can start seeing what we're doing here. But these Tombow mono erasers, that's what I recommend to use. They're a Japanese made eraser, and they're very soft to where it's hard to describe because a lot of erasers, they're very like hard plastic. and they don't do like a great job of actually erasing anything. They actually just smear, you know what I mean? So this is a great eraser brand. I started using them the last couple of months, and I probably won't swap back to anything different. Just need to grab a finer eraser. So this is going to be the same exact brand. This is going to be the Mono Zero. So this is just in a little tube, so you can get little fine points with the eraser down. Yeah, we're just gonna sit and hang out for a little bit and chat. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I did put up a poll, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, kind of asking, well, what toy you guys wanted to see get slime. So I'm a big toy guy, as I'm sure a lot of you guys probably are as well. Um, but I'm like real big into toys, especially Turtles and Masters of the Universe. So is what I was going to do was a review of just some random slime toys that I kind of have in my collection. So we're going to be pulling out like the original slime pit from Masters of the Universe, and going to be pulling out like a Muckman from Turtles, things like that, and just do like a quick little 30-minute review of some toys and see how that does. Because I just don't want this channel to be, you know, nothing but comics and drawing and things like that. I think that there's a lot of crossover in what we do in terms of, you know, in comics. Obviously, they make video game comics and movie comics and music comics and you name it. So there's obviously a lot of crossover there. And I think that's something a lot of YouTubers or just content creators in general really screw themselves over with, is putting themselves in a box to where it's like, hey, I'm going to be a YouTuber, but I'm only going to do like Rainbow Six content, right? Or I'm only going to be doing comic book content. Um, I think that if you kind of try to branch out early rather than gaining an audience and then trying to branch out, that can be kind of polarizing to some people. So I think if you start early, you know, 'cause I'm what 4 months into my YouTube journey now, and I think if you start early and kind of show people what the channel is actually going to be, um, it's not as polarizing or surprising when changes happen. Okay, so we got kind of what we're looking for now, so you guys get an idea. So is what we're going to be doing is Beetlejuice, you know, is more or less going to be like popping up out of the paper. Um, that's kind of the look we're going to be doing here. I have a reference image pulled up here. It's more or less the reference image from the thumbnail. So if you guys kind of want to see what I'm looking at, that's what I'm using. Um, and I always encourage you guys to draw with me, even if you know, drawing maybe not be your strong suit. And you know, it always wasn't mine, so it just takes practice. Okay, let's do. I think we're just going to go ahead and we're going to ink this stuff here first. That way it's black on there. And then I'm just going to erase the rest of it. So that way we can just draw his face. And let's grab this one. Eventually, I'll have a setup to where I'm over at my actual drawing desk, and this will be a lot easier to actually draw because I'm drawing standing up right now, which isn't my favorite thing to do. I prefer to sit, but it is what it is. Ooh, roller slipped there. It's all good. Got correction. Stripes put on here. This is just going to be the design similar to like Beetlejuice's tuxedo, towards like that black and white stripe. The design we're going for here. Got to fill in the blacks on these stripes once we get these put in. All right. And the thing is, we don't want these lines to be like particularly straight. And the reason being is because I don't think that Beetlejuice's suit is going to be exactly perfect. He's like a monster, so I think if you make a little bit of irregularities in the lines, especially with the verticals, gives a little bit more life to the drawing. Go ahead and get our trusty bowl out here so we can put down our other circle. So again, this is kind of a cheat that I have for you guys. If you need to draw a big circle, just grab a bowl and trace around it. Let's grab the 0.3. This is the 0.3 micron. Try to trace around this. The camera is kind of in the way, so hopefully I don't jack this up. Thick. Not bad. We gotta get another one here. Just trying to eyeball it. So we're just drawing circles. I'm trying to eyeball exactly where this bowl is, so that way I can get the perfect circle down. Oh, see, and that's exactly what I was worried about. The bowl just slid on me, son of a bitch. So go, we can correct that. Let's erase some of this pencil away here, and then we'll go back and crisp up these lines. If anybody's got any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask. It's going to be hanging out today, doing some drawings and chat for a little bit. Next week, we're going to be doing comic flip through. I'm going to grab some Ren and Stimpy comics out of my collection, and we're going to flip through those and add to the Marvel Made These Comics playlist for you guys. I know it's pretty popular, so get that on there. All right. So this is going to be a decent base, I think, for what we need to do now. We've laid down thicker lines on those circles and whatnot. So I think the first thing or the next thing that we should do is just straight up just draw the man himself. Gonna pull up my reference image here. All right. So I think grab that. Okay, so this one is going to be black. So we'll put a black, white, black, white, black, white, black. So that way I know what colors this is going to be, because again, these are just going to be black and white stripes similar to his suit. So let's go ahead and start getting down to this. So this is going to be his eyeball here. And that kind of comes down to a point. And this here has got to be his nose. So that's going to be kind of like the start of his nose. I'll probably have to go back and make the drawing a little larger just because we're on a pretty big sheet of paper, actually. And this is going to be a smile. And that's going to be his chin there. Again, really rough pencils. I go in and ink everything after the fact, really clean it up. You guys watched my previous drawings and stuff before. It's just kind of how I work. Real rough pencils and then correct everything really with the inking process. Okay, so then we need his nostril. Again, this is going to be his eye, but we're going to have to make that a lot larger here. You guys can kind of get an idea of what we're doing here. That's going to be his eyeball. So then this section here kind of needs to come up more, actually. It's going to be more like shaped like this. I don't know if I keep putting this eraser away when I'm going to keep pulling it out and using it. Cool beans. Homeboy's got a big ass mouth though, so really do need to drag it up. Probably up to there, I would say. Grab his other cheek here. Mm-mm-mm. That's going to be his eyeball. Fun stuff. Starting to come together. Grab a drink here quick. Going up here, and it's a steep lip that kind of goes up, comes out. It goes to about here, I reckon. Probably just a tad too large. Just a bit. I'm gonna bring it down here. Whatever, man, that'll work for now. Let's just go ahead and get some teethies in. We gotta fix his nose here. And then we'll start laying down some ink and actually get this thing in here proper for him. Do, 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 do. Jamming out. So his teeth are always fun to draw, and I think that just teeth in general are one of my favorite things to draw, especially on like monster characters. They can just be all random and nasty. Monsters don't go to the dentist, so they shouldn't have nice teeth. Let's give them a long ass tooth here. Gotta remember too, probably can't make it too long. Probably should shorten it up just a hair. He's gotta put his tongue in still. Let's give him a kind of a weird looking tooth. Maybe like do a little hole in it or something. Start getting his hair in here. We're just gonna go up under the circle for that one. Just out of curiosity too, is like the music at a good level? I can always turn it up or turn it down too if it's too loud. I wasn't too sure how it sounded coming through on your guys' end of things with the mix. It sounded fine in the preview, but just want to double check just for when we got to do it next time or whatever. Probably bring his hair down here. Do a little swoop. Okay. Probably should take his bottom jaw lip, we're going to call it, and expand it out a little bit. Go to right where this tooth is here. Can't quite put my finger on what his issue is with this mouth, man. I can't figure out why I can't get it quite right. That's not terrible there. We'll just correct it when we get to the inking stage, man. Good old tongue action. My reference image again here. This is the rest of his hair. Trying to give him a little tuft thing there. Good stuff. Is the music mix good though? Just out of curiosity, is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Just right? His face is so skinny. It's so funny looking. I think that's what the issue is. Homeboy needs to get a little bit of a wider face. Do, 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 do. Good stuff. There we go. Much better. Starting to come together here. He's got some weird, like, nastiness on his tongue, too. And his tongue probably should be just a hair bit bigger. Get on there. Cool beans. Let's go ahead and just start blacking this stuff in and start laying down some ink, get some action on the paper going here. Let's blacken in these stripes. I actually might go grab the other tool. The old trusty. Filling in some blacks. I ended up grabbing the paint marker, to be honest with you, because this thing is kind of running low, and I don't want to have to refill this thing on the stream. Yeah, son of a bitch. Swap to this for now, I guess. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to wiggle the camera. It's really hard for me to see what I'm doing. Yeah, man, this is not ideal. Grab something else. The old crusty, the old Posca. Fill this stuff in real quick. We'll have to go in and do the fine edges with it. With some microns, I should say. Yeah, we're going to be doing a toy review probably for the video this upcoming week. Going to be pulling out some slime toys. I put up a poll yesterday asking what toy you guys wanted to see get slimed. I got a bunch of like turtle toys and things like that. We're going to be pulling out, mainly going to be reviewing the slime pit for Masters of the Universe. One of my favorite playsets, if not my favorite playset of all time. So that'll be a lot of fun to do. It's going to be a quick little, like 30 to 40-minute video. Going to pull out some slime stuff, slime some toys. So give you guys some options. But who's the mystery pick? Nobody knows. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and hit this then with the fine line, clean it up. Crisping these lines up here. But yeah, I got a couple of videos planned for you guys. Like I said, the upcoming video, we're probably going to be doing a slime pit video first. And then I did pick up some other action figures that are a little bit outside the box that are actually comic artist related. I don't want to give away exactly what it is quite yet, but they're actually action figures designed by one of my favorite artists of all time and somebody I really look up to. So that'll be a lot of fun. Check those out. If you guys pay attention to my other art stuff or just my other content in general, shorts and stuff, whatnot, I can give you a hint that I've drawn a musician in the past, and that musician belongs to a particular group, and we're going to be doing a toy review of said music group. And like I said, the toy itself is comic related, technically, or artist related, I should say. And it's an artist that I really put up on a pedestal. So I cannot wait to check that out. Actually, in the mail, it's been on my list for toys for quite a while, and it's just been super expensive aftermarket on eBay and whatnot. So I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. And finally, somebody posted one on a good deal, and they actually had it opened up to offers. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to put in an offer, see what happens. And I got the thing cheaper than what they had it up for, and it was already extremely cheap compared to the other listings on eBay. And even then, some of the listings on eBay are almost $300 for this action figure pack, which is kind of crazy, but given the circumstances and what it is, it kind of makes sense, I guess, for why those action figures had gone up so much in price. It is a collector's item, that's for sure. So it's going to take somebody real hardcore to actually buy something like that. But like I said, I made a video of it. I actually made up a super funny or a super thick thumbnail for it. And probably maybe tomorrow up on the channel, I will put up a post giving you guys like a sneak peek of the different videos I've been working on in the background. Like I said, we got a slime pit video, Masters of the Universe, like slime pit toy review coming. And then like an action figure pack, but that is, again, it's artist / comic book related, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But I'll put up some sneak peek images of the thumbnails I've been working on and get those posted up so you guys can see those and have a little bit of behind the scenes look at that. I've had a couple people actually like reach out to me about my thumbnails. Um, I've been taking a lot of time in general with my thumbnails. I think that people have their thumbnails down to a science and they're working with the YouTube algorithm. That's not how I'm gonna roll. I'm kind of designing my um all of my thumbnails more or less as a design, as like just a strong image in general, to complement to the video. Because I think people just throw up the YouTube thumbnails and just hope that the algorithm, gets some clicks. Um, but I think that like a comic book cover, the thumbnail should, be its own piece of art, right? So I've been taking the time and photoshopping up a lot of fun thumbnails for you guys, and as well, some people have commented on some of the thumbnails that I've drawn. Like my Japan Book Hunter video, that thumbnail I completely drew. There's a couple of other ones where I drew the backgrounds on them, and then I Photoshop over top of that, and I think it gives it a unique look. But yeah, I was just thinking about this today too. I skateboard and I've been having like an itch to go skate, but we live in northern Wisconsin. There is snow on the ground and it is super freaking cold outside. So I'm not going outside, basically, is what I gotta say. But when that springtime rolls around, we get that first like warm weather. I'm gonna be hitting the streets, and honestly, probably will end up putting up some skateboard content videos stuff on the channel too. Like I said, a lot of YouTube creators put themselves in boxes to where, hey, it's just nothing but comic books, or hey, it's just nothing but video games, right? It's like that's why the channel was just named after myself, because I want it to be, kind of about my hobbies and whatnot. So just share what I do with you guys. Um, so I figured I would kind of I don't know, I have like a unique way of skateboarding, I guess, the way to look at it. Hold on a second, my computer. There we go. I'm just asleep, so I lost my reference image. I forget what I was saying now. It's terrible. Oh, so I remember now. Yeah, YouTube. A lot of YouTubers and content creators put themselves in boxes, and I'm just not. I'm not going to do that. I think it's kind of stupid to do that. And then as well, you burn yourself out really fast if you're just doing nothing but just comic book stuff, or you're doing nothing but movies or whatever, right? So if I get in here early and be like, hey guys, this channel again is just more or less about myself. Show off comics, show off drawings, uh, skateboarding, whatever you name it, man. We're gonna get into it. But I like OJ Wheels. They do like this cruising series, uh, to where they're basically just like they kind of just cruise around town. It's not like a necessarily a traditional skate video, and that's what my inspiration for this is going to be. Is hey, just take a trip with me. Let's just go skate around town a little bit. No cars, no bikes, just you and the skateboard in the street, just kind of skating around the city a little bit. Hit a hit a couple quick skate spots, kind of show those off a little bit. But again, it's just more or less just be able to hang out with your boy a little bit and see what I do for fun and whatnot. And I just hope that this channel, people can look at it as a source for inspiration, look at it as a source for advice and whatnot. It's like I've been on this planet for 31 years, and I have experienced probably 4 or 5 lifetimes worth of stuff since I've been on this planet. So if you ever need advice or anything like that, I'm always happy to give it, man. Sorry about that. Gonna have to get this focused now. There we go. But yep, I've been slowly acquiring new like film stuff, so like new lights and display stuff to where we can film some more elaborate videos with with toys and with comics. And as well, I plan on getting out and doing more haul videos because I know that you guys like seeing that, just kind of going out and to the comic book shops and looking around and grabbing stuff out of the bins. Um, Full disclosure, I've been working on in the background with a bunch of different comic shops and whatnot, um, trying to get into like these places without customers in them. And my thought process is I want to do more or less like commercials for these places and not to like advertise for the shop itself, which I think is something that we probably should be doing anyways, is, shouting out our local shops more than people are. But um, kind of using it as a way to for people to get inspired to actually go out to their comic shop and check it out. Sometimes people might not even know that there's comic shops in their towns. I was taking an art course last year for landscape drawing, and there was an older dude in the course. He didn't do comic books or anything like that. He just was an illustrator, I guess, is the way to look at it. He never really dealt with comic books. He just did like landscape drawings and things like that. So I was shooting the shit with him a little bit and was telling him about comic books and the different things that are out there that are offered besides just superhero stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, we got a comic book shop right down the road because we're at the art museum here in town. And I was like, yeah, dude, there's literally a comic book shop like a block right down the road, and the dude literally had zero idea the thing was even there. And he's lived in the town his entire life, and the dude's like in his 60s, so you know what I mean. And that shop has been there since 1985. So it's like that's kind of crazy to me. So it kind of goes to show that not a lot of people are observant. So we have to be, um, take it upon ourselves as creators or comic book collectors or whatever to like, hey, there's shops out there. Go visit these places and buy some comics. All right, let's go ahead and get his face. We do have to get some more hair actually. And then he's got another And it kind of comes off his eye there. Do some more hair. Got sound effects for you guys. Like, are you really drawing if you're not making ridiculous sound effects? I'm just gonna make that a little rounder, actually. I don't like how that looks. You know what I mean, man? I don't know. I think I might scrap this hair on this side. I mean, the reference image has it, but it just looks weird with the picture that I'm drawing. So we're just gonna get rid of this shit. We're actually not gonna do this. And again, if you guys want to see the image that I'm using, it's just the thumbnail, man. That's what I'm using here to get what I'm doing. Good stuff. Do 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 do. All right, how we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We just hanging in and out, getting her done with everybody's mornings. We're just chilling, get some drawing in here. If anybody's got any questions, wants to chat, whatever, man, I'll answer you and sit here and just have a little morning chat, some coffee. Throwing his hair. Yeah, I think that the animated series for Beetlejuice is really underrated, actually. It's one of the better cartoons that's like for like a licensed product from that time, because I'm sure as everybody knows that this came out at a time to where they're making cartoons literally about everything. So it's like, oh, let's make a Rambo cartoon. Oh, let's make a masked cartoon. Oh, let's whatever. Like literally everything and everything had a damn cartoon made for it because they were making toys for it. The cartoons were cheap to manufacture, and people were buying a shitloads of toys. So it only makes sense, but pretty underrated TV show, honestly. Who does his voice in that? Is it Rob Paulson who does Beetlejuice's voice? Now we gotta look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Wikipedia. Beetlejuice, the animated series. Let's see. Who was it? Stephen Ahmet. Uh, I mean, I honestly am not familiar with this dude. It looks like he was Archangel in the X-Men cartoon. Um, but it looks like he's just a lot of just random TV stuff. Really didn't have anything after that. I don't know why I thought it was Rob Paulson. I mean, Rob Paulson again, just like one of those voice actors, especially in around that time, got used to do everything, Animaniacs and Mask, and you name it, the dude did it. They're on his little teefers. Yeah, I should probably have a new video up midweek. Is going to be my best guess. Um, I started a new job. Kind of give you guys, I guess, some inside baseball. Um, that's why I was so busy last week, because I started up a new job last week, and I'm not entirely sure how busy I'm going to be with said job now, but rest assured that I am going to stay on the schedule that we got. I'm going to be doing a live stream every week. Um, it did get it won out for me to do live streams on Saturday nights, which I am actually okay with. However, I didn't do it this week, and I'm not going to do it next week, is because I'm a big wrestling fan, and Saturday night's main event was last night, and the next week, next Saturday, we got the Royal Rumble, and I'm not going to miss that. So I love everyone, but I don't love you as much as wrestling. So Royal Rumble's next weekend, so that's what we're going to be. That's what we're going to be doing, and then we're going to be streaming that Sunday morning. After next week, we should be starting streams on Saturday nights, which I think is what everybody is going to prefer. So that's what we will do. We will move to Saturday nights, and every other week I will have a video up, like a proper video. Like I said, this upcoming week, towards the middle to the tail end of the week, I'm going to be having a toy review up. It's going to be a longer toy review of some Masters of the Universe and some turtle stuff, specifically slime related toys. If you guys want to see or have a say in what toys get slimed, um, there is a pull up on my channel you can do a vote on. I grabbed some random toys out of my collection that I thought would be fun to see get slimed. So if you guys want to do a vote on which toys you want to see get slimed, go ahead and hit a vote on that poll. Um, that poll is probably going to. I mean, you can't close polls on YouTube, but that poll is probably. I'm probably going to stop pulling data from it tomorrow because I'm going to start filming the video probably Tuesday, if not start filming it tomorrow, and then get it up like Wednesday, Thursday for you guys. So, like I said, I'm a busy man. I'm working 9 hours a day, whatever. Managing the house, drawing, working on comic books in the background, which you guys don't know about yet. So, I'm very, very busy. Oh, let's go ahead. I'm going to grab a finer marker. So this is the finest marker that I have in my collection of tools. This is a .005. It's like the finest thing on the planet. It's like you can even see the nib on this thing. It's so small on the end of it, you can barely see it. But you need markers like that every once in a while. Let's go ahead and fill this in. Oh, where's my brush marker at? There it is. Oh, dropped on the floor. Go ahead and get this colored in. Yeah, for my slime video though, I actually have to build like I don't know, like some sort of contraption light box. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do yet. Um, but I want to have higher quality videos, especially when doing toys. Like I said, I consider myself like an expert, I guess, in some toy areas. Like for instance, like I said, like Masters of the Universe and uh, Turtles, especially. Like I would consider myself an expert in those. Consider myself an expert in comics and especially an expert in like punk music, uh, metal music as well. Just very knowledgeable on a lot of things. I think that's why a lot of people um, like my channel or just like me in general is that I'm the kind of person that I can have a conversation with literally anybody. You know what I mean? Just because of how knowledgeable I am on a lot of things. So it's easy to relate to a lot of people. Let's go ahead and uh, erase what we have here, and then we're gonna clean up our lines. Hope everybody's having a good time. I'm having a lot of fun doing this one today. And eventually, I'm going to be getting to the point to where I'm going to be selling some of this stuff in print sets Not particular like this one, but in general, I'm going to be having probably be having some hopefully by the end of the summer. That's kind of dependent on other things that I'm working on in the background. Um, Hopefully, I can get a book that I'm working on up off the ground. I'm working on with another artist who's actually like established in actual comic books in general, and he's been really helpful, giving me a hand on shepherd me into getting my project up and going on what I want to do. Basically, I want to do some sort of collaboration project with a bunch of people, kind of like an anthology book sort of thing. And I'm going to be the one spearheading that. So I love anthology books. I like seeing a variety of artists. And I'm going to do what I can to promote other artists, especially ones that are unpublished. Uh, Grab the old circle guide. So this is like my best friend. If you guys don't own one of these, you're wrong. Having a circle guide is so nice. You can literally buy them pretty much anywhere, to be honest with you. Like office supply stores have them, Michaels, Home Depot, anywhere where where blueprint, architecture, drafting tools, that sort of thing is sold. And this will save you so much time and effort, and then as well, it's going to make your drawings just look way cleaner. Like if you have to draw wheels on cars, or you have to draw eyeballs, or whatever you name it, it's just really comes in handy. So let's go ahead and so the nicer thing is that we can go a little smaller than if we decide that we want to do a bigger eyeball. We can move to do so. But just for starters, let's just go ahead and go with this size. And this one's going to be a little smaller. So this was the size 5/32 is what we used there. So let's do 3/32 on this side. Cool beans. So I think his eye on this side probably could be a little bit bigger. Jump it up to 3/16. There we go. Go ahead and start laying down some thicker lines. Take a second here and take a drink. How's everybody doing this morning? There you are. Then we gotta do grab a 0.5. Go back to the old Tombow. The nice thing with this Tombow marker is you can get a lot of variation with your lines. It's a extremely hard marker, so it's very easy to get hard lines or thicker lines and move them to thinner lines and vice versa because of how easy it is to control the actual, to control the actual marker. There we are. Oh, dropping stuff. Up. Screwed that line a little bit, but it's all good. All right, let's go ahead and move over to the Tombow again. All right. That probably. I mean, we got to clean up our lines, do some more of this. I mean, we probably got another like half hour to 45 minutes probably on this drawing, maybe a little less. Hard to say. But we're just gonna keep going, baby, until we're done. Do, do, do. Fun stuff. Grab our old trusty bowls here. I actually probably don't need the bowl, to be honest with you, at this point. Probably could just go with it by hand. Um, do, 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 do. Probably am gonna grab this one at least. This bowl was the bane of my existence though, because it slides around like a mofo. Trying to make sure that I got all of my points together here. I have to go back over top of that with a thicker brush. What did I do with that brush? I wonder if we should just fill this in black. Kind of give it a, yeah, let's just fill this in black. I think it'll give it more of a dynamic look that way. Then we'll go around with it with some white. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to bump into the camera. But I decided to change directions on this drawing and do a white instead of a, or sorry, to do a black circle instead of a white one. Dropping stuff all damn day. Filling in this black. Sorry if I'm being a little quiet, folks. I'm just trying to concentrate. All right. So we got that on there. Now we're going to go back around and do it with white. Oh, gotta let this dry a little bit here. Amazing. All right. We need to touch up over here on this side. Trying to decide what else I want to do with it. I mean, it needs cleaned up, but I'm just not sure what else I should be doing with this. Be honest with you, and probably clean it up, but that's about it. Uh, Filling in some blacks. I picked up the Ninja Gaiden Black 2 remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, and a couple hours into it, probably one of my favorite 360 games. So I'm kind of looking forward to popping in after the stream here and playing some more Ninja Gaiden. Might hop on to some like Helldivers or something, kill some bugs. Yes, man. And we're gonna have to go back over top of the white and make that a thicker line, I think, on the circle. Yeah, this I painted, if you're just now joining the stream, I painted this black on earlier, and the paint did not dry the greatest. That's why I'm going back over top of it with marker, because it is really spotty. Marker that paint marker is kind of getting dry, so but to be fair, if you were to scan this in on a computer, it would be 100% black, so it's not like it needs to be like the darkest black possible. So this is good enough. But let's thicken up our line a little bit up here. So this is something that I use pretty often to lay down whites with it. This is just a fluid correction. It's Japanese pencil calligraphy fluid correction. And this one specifically has a nib on the end of it. Oh, I already had it on my desk. And this is the other size that they have. This is going to be same principle. It's correction fluid, but it's on a bigger nib. As you can see, and it's a bigger bottle, so you can lay down thicker things. I use this when I'm like highlighting hair and things like that. I'll lay down nothing but black and then come in with this and lay down the white highlights with it. This is more for fine lines and actually like drawing with it. So let's see if my correction skills are good enough for me to draw around this circle and not jack it up. Not bad. Stuff can dry up kind of easily. Or dries fast, I should say. So the work time on it's pretty nice because you can just go right over top of it. You don't have to sit and wait for it to dry up. Cool beans. Let's go in and clean that up with a little micron. And again, I don't want this to be exactly perfect because I kind of want it to be messy because, Beetlejuice is more or less a monster. So I think that his lines and stuff, even on the drawings, should be a little messy, you know what I mean? Kind of give it a monster to look. A little bit of scratchiness, a little bit of imperfections on everything. And then we can go back in with our gel pen and correct some of this. These real fine white spots. Five. Grab some charcoal. And then gonna hit up here. color on the inside of his mouth here. A little charcoal pencil. I really don't like using charcoal a lot because this stuff is messy, man. It gets everywhere. But it makes your drawings look cool. So, kind of why I keep using it, but he got some like weird lines on his tongue. All right, so let's grab a blender. Blend that charcoal in. The old Tombow 0. Clean up these lines here. Probably could, since this is a hole in his tooth. Thinking that's probably a good place to kind of call it for now. I got a couple other things I got to take care of today. But for what I wanted to do, I think this is a good spot for it. Again, I didn't want it to be perfect. Kind of looking for a cool little monster drawing for Beetlejuice, that's all. And I think we have achieved exactly that. Go ahead and do our thing. Put the signature on it. I think that's where we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. As always, appreciate you hanging out, watching me draw, talking in the chat, all that good stuff. We are going to have a video up again probably towards the middle, if not towards the tail end of the week. We're either going to be doing a slime pit review for Master of the Universe, or we're going to be doing a different action figure pack review. This upcoming weekend, we're going to be doing a flip through of some Ren and Stimpy comics. So you got that to look forward to. So I already got that up. Be sure to click that notification bell, get notified when the stream does go up. So then, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll probably call it there. Like I said, have a video up towards the middle of the week, and then we're going to be doing another stream next Sunday, starting at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, everyone. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out and talking comics. We'll see you.